Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Brennan again, getting ready to go to the gym. Yes, wrap your minds around that. Now, what does that entail? Well, it entails me sitting at my desk and also checking out Bob from Olympus Iron's latest video, who I actually just did a collaboration with him yesterday, which will be live today, which is Wednesday. However, you probably won't see this on Wednesday, only because I have to let you guys wait a little bit. I can't just give up the goods so easily. Gotta make you wait for it, work for it, earn it, respect it, enjoy it. Now, that being said, I'm also sitting here drinking a white Monster, which may or may not be in focus, which is completely okay too. But I think it's funny only because a lot of people have mentioned how everyone seems to be drinking these white Monsters lately, and I would agree. And I think it really comes into the mob mentality and YouTube and fitness in general. And I think this is true of a lot of other genres on YouTube, but a lot of people that make content, myself included, we watch a lot of other content creators within the same genre, so fitness-related videos. So I see a lot of people drinking White Monster. I'm at the store, I see White Monster. I think, hey, I should be drinking a White Monster. Now, White Monsters are very good. There's other energy drinks out there as well. But that is not only true about products that people buy. So I know a lot of times that I do video reviews on knee sleeves, belts, shoes, everything under the sun, ice cream bars. And that'll also spur people on to trying these things, maybe because they just never thought of it, or just because when they do see it, they remember seeing a video and think, hey, maybe I want to give this a shot also. And this is really true of topics that you'll see on YouTube as well. So I know sometimes people get, how do I want to say this, get called out for potentially copying other people's videos. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I just think that it's relevant at the time. If I watch a channel and they make a video on a certain topic and I have something to say or add to that conversation, or maybe it's just relevant and I want to put in my 2 cents, obviously I'm going to try to capitalize on that and put it up right then and right there. Or maybe it's just a good topic that I wish I had thought of and I want to jump in and just do a video as well. So I don't think it's necessarily copying, although some might say other people copy verbatim certain topics, certain thumbnails, certain titles. Not pointing any fingers, even though technically I am pointing a finger. Not for me, but I just know from talking to other people, I've seen some pretty blatant plagiarism in the past, but that's okay, because it happens. Anyways, what else am I doing? I don't know. I don't know why I even do this video. I am rocking a Captain America Under Armour tech tee that I got sent. I don't normally wear this because it's like a double XL, and I do not fill out a double XL too well. But at the same hand, I can't wear shirts that are too tight because that's not my style either. So that conundrum that I'm just always in. So I'm going to stop rambling now, and only because I want to finish watching that video from Bob and get ready to actually go to the gym. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. What's up, everybody? So I'm back in my car, and obviously we had a little wardrobe malfunction with the Captain America shirt. Apparently my hand-eye coordination isn't as good as I thought, and I spilled all over, so a loss of gains and a loss of the shirt. However, rocking that animal shirt, and no, not animal as in Universal Nutrition, animal as in animal, the Muppets, the original, the OG. You know those drum feels that I'm talking about. Anyways, outside the gym, gonna go in, do a bench day today. Got some Spoto pressing, some slingshot work. Should be a good time. I'm gonna try to get in and out because that is my forte. Quick and easy, that's what she said. So we'll check you inside. So before I start, I want to give you 2 quick tips that have really helped me out, and the first of which is banding the bench. So here I'm taking these bands that we're all pretty typically used to for mobility work, and I put 2 on the bench to strap them around. The reason I do this is because a lot of the benches that I see in gyms just aren't sticky enough, and one of the main things you want to do with bench is really be able to dig your traps and shoulders into it, as well as when you utilize leg drive. These are really key things in order to have a sticky bench, and since most benches aren't sticky enough, putting these bands down can definitely help you accomplish this a little bit better. The other tip I want to talk about is just rack height. So here you see the rack height that I normally use, and the goal here is to really just be able to pull the bar out of the racks without really moving your shoulders too much. Again, we just took a lot of time to get set, dig our traps and shoulders in, and having the rack in other positions, either higher or lower, can really affect us in a negative fashion. So let me show you an example of this. Now in this case, this is extremely over-exaggerated about how low this rack is, but you can see here after digging in, I then have to really extend my arms, in which cases I also untuck my shoulders. So this can be a very problematic thing for most commercial gyms where you're unable to really change the rack height. And I see this all the time where the racks are definitely way too low. So again, just to show you, get tight, and then you have to overextend in order to get the weight fully up.
And the opposite case here being way too high, luckily I have these long Go-Go Gadget arms. Again, you can't really get a tight rack having the bar this high ahead of you. So if you're in a gym that has a good competition style bench that allows you to change the rack height, make sure you're choosing a rack height that allows you to just barely get the bar off of the hooks. So now that we got the educational part of the way, let's get back to the normal sexual innuendos, even though I tried to throw some ones in there. So we did is 5 sets of 5 of the Spoto press using 285 pounds, kept the weight static. With the Spoto press, what you want to do is come down and pause an inch or so off your chest before pressing back up. These are a great exercise to do, number one, because it forces you to pause, and number two, it causes you to stay really, really tight, and you guys know how I feel about that, only because you can't rest the bar on your chest. So just started doing these, but really like them so far. After those 5 sets, we then moved on to working up to a heavy set of 3 for paused bench with the slanger, aka the slingshot. Now, in addition to the slingshot, you can also see I'm using the gangster wraps. You saw the slingshot compression cuffs in the last clip. I'm wearing a super training hat, and truth be told, I use their hip circle every single day as part of my mobility routine. And that's really saying a lot about this equipment, only because you guys know how picky of a reviewer I am. Pretty much just shit on everything, but I really like this gear. And that's also saying a lot only because I wish that they discovered me before I spent all my own personal money on buying this. So I bought my slingshot with my own money as well as the gangster wraps. I highly recommend them if you're looking for something in this vein as far as your training goes. All right, so that's enough being a chump change motherfucker. From there, we did move on to skull crushers. The goal here was to do 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps. I'm using 90 pounds, so this particular bar here weighs 20. I made sure and actually weighed it just because I never know how much these things weigh. Some people say 15, some say 25, whatever the case may be. This particular one weighs 20 pounds. I could have gone a lot heavier on this, but I really wanted to focus on form, keeping my elbows static and stationary, and really getting a good contraction, all the while not crushing my dome piece because it's taking a lot of damage as is. From there, we moved on to French presses. Again, this is something that's pretty new for me. However, it's fairly decent, I would say. Kind of put some stress on my elbow, so as part of this, I did throw those compression cuffs back on just because it really alleviates the pain here. But we did 4 sets of these for, I believe, 12 reps, and that wrapped up the workout for today. So just some bench work and some accessory work on the triceps. Overall, pretty good. That's my 3rd day training in a row, and we'll take the next day off. Hopefully you guys got a little bit out of this. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching, and stay big.